Hi, so what is a life cycle assessment, LCA? Basically, if you design a product, you need to think of the life cycle of that product. And the life cycle of a product includes the extraction of the raw materials. It might be sort of pumping the oil or going into a mine to get lithium and so on and so forth, processing that, refining it, and so on. And it might include several steps. For example, for steel or aluminum, it's 2, 3, 4 steps. Transporting it until maybe the final manufacturing stage where the product is actually made. And then after that, maybe it's shipped to its destination, it's distributed, stored somewhere, it's used. Okay, so sometimes use for a car might be 10 years, and sometimes maybe for a Nespresso capsule might be less than a minute, right? And then what happens with the product at the end of its life? Is disposed? Can it be recycled? Should special precautions be taken? Because if it's thrown in a landfill, maybe it's very detrimental to the soil and the water around, and so on and so forth, right? So the life cycle assessment of a product is basically the fact of taking all of these activities that are quantified usually in grams or tons and so on, and translating it into the impact on the environment, right? So how much greenhouse gas, CO2 equivalent, for example, is emitted, how much consumption of natural resources, and so on. And then it's aggregated through all of these activities into some final numbers for the product. And then if you want to label your product as green or whatever, eco-design or anything like that, you need to be able to back it up. There are laws. You can't just come out with some kind of label that is a fraud, right? You need to back it up, especially in the EU now. The regulations are clear. And also, if you want to show that maybe the new version of your product is more sustainable or less unsustainable than the previous one, or maybe compared with some key competitors, or maybe some alternatives to your product. You know, think of, I don't know, some stainless steel straw versus the throwaway straws. Okay, what is the point? How many times should it be used for the stainless steel straw to be a better option with less impact than all of these paper straws, for example, right? Same thing for the tote bags that people give away now and so on. Same thing with electric vehicles. I mean, there's so many things that we hear. You need to look at the full life cycle of a product. Otherwise, anything you say about sustainability is just BS. Sorry about that. Okay, I hope that's useful. Thanks.